Well, again, we don't, the answer to almost every question for today, we don't know for sure because we haven't seen this before. A couple of things about that though. Consumers in the GDP can depend on where you live. Consumer spending is usually 65 to 70% of GDP about everywhere. So consequently, consumers are going to drive a lot of what goes on. That's just that the numbers dictate that they do. And so consumer confidence is going to be an important factor. When are consumers willing to have enough confidence to shop again? And with some confidence they'll have income, but also how soon are consumers going to be willing to attend a concert, to attend an athletic event? All of those kinds of things, and we can't possibly know those answers yet. I think a lot will depend on how the health numbers shake out and what we learn about the health side of it as well, and that sort of thing. And maybe I'm going to digress a minute after I answer this and bring out one point that may be worth thinking about here. But historically, consumers have been very resilient. We go through periods of great difficulty, and then consumers tend to come back fairly quickly. That could well be the case here. Again, assuming that they begin to have confidence that it's safe to go out, it's safe to do things, that sort of thing, both economically safe and health safe from a health perspective. But I expect consumers to play a major role in the comeback. One thing that may be worth noting here, just very briefly, I'm sorry I'm getting the weeds just a minute here in finance. Forgive me, I'll be quick, I promise. We always use the terms risk and uncertainty interchangeably in day-to-day life. I mean, we all do, and there's nothing wrong with that. They have very different meanings in an economic or financial context. And risk is basically what people do in the stock market every day. As an example, you can examine it and you can say, okay, I can take more risk and possibly get more return. I can take less risk and possibly get less return. That's why some people are venture capitalists and some people buy treasury bills. I mean, you can determine the amount of risk you want to take, but you sort of have a rough idea of what the distribution looks like. That you're picking along a curve of where you want to be. That's how we make markets. Uncertainty is when you have no idea what that curve looks like, and that's where we've been. That's where we've been throughout this process. And as we get more information, and we're getting more now. At first we knew nothing about this. As we get more information, how long a vaccine might take, what types of things might work, what percentages of people are finding themselves in what type of condition. As we get more of that information and more economic data, the uncertainty starts to dissipate, and that in and of itself helps to stimulate the recovery. If you give folks a choice on any day-to-day basis of good news, bad news, or uncertainty, that's the order in which they pick them. Good news first, bad news second, uncertainty third. Because they would rather, at least if it's bad news, they can assess it and price it. If they don't know what to do, they don't know what to do. That's when everybody goes to the sidelines. So I think the information flow that comes out of this is going to be very, very important. I think that's why you're seeing things like the Google and Apple consortium, things like that come into play. Those kinds of things, to the extent they're successful, can really help drive a recovery because, again, they give people that base on which to make decisions. And we've been missing that for the past few months, particularly at the beginning. Some of those 2,000-point swings in the stock market you saw at the beginning when we really didn't know what was going on. It was just that. We didn't know what was going on. Now they tend to, most days are more like a 300 or 400-point swing. Even though we're getting some fairly bad news in some contexts, at least we're getting news that people can assess and evaluate.